Welcome to Conversations Live. For more than a decade, we've brought you the best in books, entertainment, celebrity interviews, and current events. When the movers and shakers of the world have something to say to you, they say it to us first. Here's your host, Cyrus Webb.
Welcome back, everyone, to Conversations Live. I'm your host, Cyrus Webb. Glad you all could join us once again. But for a radio audience tuning in at WYAD 94.1 FM and WYADonline.com, we're glad that you all can be with us. Also, it's tuning in through our friends at iHeartRadio and Amazon Music Podcast. We're glad you all could be with us as well. When I say the name Brad Rutter, you guys, of course, know him as the all-time money winner for Jeopardy, but he's someone that's also been able to make a livelihood of being able to not only to answer the tough questions, and that's going to continue this week as we see Brad being able to join a show that a lot of us are addicted to called The Chase. We're going to talk to Brad today not only about his extraordinary journey, but also what it's been like for him to see the way he's been able to inspire others, where he's also living his dreams. And, of course, we'll let you guys know how to see him on The Chase as well. Brad, thank you again for the time. Really appreciate it.
My pleasure. Nice to be here.
Brad, for us, it's exciting for me to be able to talk with you because I've been following you, of course, because of Jeopardy, but finding out a lot about your backstory along the way has been so fascinating. So what has this been like for you, Brad, as I said, to be able to do something that you love and to be able to see the way you've been able to entertain and inspire others?
Well, I've always been really into knowing things and sort of curious about the world and had a wide range of interests, but when I was a kid, I never would have thought I would have been able to make a career out of it. So I've been extraordinarily lucky to be one of the few people to actually make that happen. So, it's they say do what you love and you'll never work a day in your life. I kind of feel that way.
Yeah, for sure. Brad, I saw in an interview you were talking about, though, as a child, though, Jeopardy was something that you were drawn to even then and even able to beat those who were on television. Could you have imagined then that one day that would be you, the person who was, as I mentioned, being the all-time winner?
No. I guess by the time I was in high school, I thought if I ever had a chance to go on Jeopardy, I could probably do pretty well. But if you would have told me I would end up doing as well as I did, I would have thought you were.
Yeah. And I think, too, the prizes have been great, of course, I know for you, but you have been able to, I think, and I've heard this from especially people in my radio audience, you've been able to inspire people, to make them want to know things, make them more curious about things, and to be able to play along like with individuals like yourself. Talk to us about that experience. What has that been like for you? Because I think it's a great, as we kind of talk about The Chase, it's a great segue there, but what has that been like for you to see how you've inspired other people to know it's cool to learn and to know?
Well, it's humbling and it's an honor to learn that anybody's been inspired by me. I think just being curious about the world has served me well, and to the extent that I can influence other people to do that as well, I think that's a great thing. That's sort of where it all started for me, just being curious about the world and having a wide range of interests, and also my brain sort of works to catch trivia facts, so I guess you need that too, but you're kind of either born with that or you're not. One thing anybody can do is be curious about things.
Yeah, which leads us to The Chase. I talk to a lot of recording artists on this broadcast, Brad, and one of the things I'm always curious about is when they've gotten known for one thing, if they are ever concerned about only being known for that one type of music or that one type of genre. For yourself, because of the success you'd be able to have, especially when it comes to answering questions and quizzing, is that something that you thought would kind of become, a box for you?
Yes, probably, but I don't mind.
Okay.
Like I said, it's what I love to do. So, I can't complain if I'm getting paid for it, and that's what people know me for. One thing that's been nice though is that I always used to get the "Hey Jeopardy," and now I get "Hey The Chase," which is great. It's been catching on, and I'm glad people are watching and they seem to enjoy it.
Yeah, so let's talk about The Chase, because it is, a show that, is definitely fast-paced. It definitely has a lot of suspense. What has that experience been like for you, Brad, to be able to be a part of this and to see the way people are gravitating to this show?
It's just so much fun to do. This is going to sound corny, but every time I, drive onto the lot to go shoot an episode, I'm sort of pinching myself. I'm living the dream. I think the concept, like you said, it's very fast-paced. We can get through up to as many as 120 questions in an episode, which I don't think anybody else even comes close to. And it's usually high stakes and dramatic towards the end, and it's so much fun to make, and I'm really glad that people seem to be enjoying watching it too. So I hope everyone will tune in.
Yeah. Well, as I mentioned, they'll be able to watch it this week on Thursday, of course, on ABC and also streaming on Hulu. We're going to remind them of that. I do want to ask you, Brad, about this show in particular, because I think the other thing about it is it also shows about community. You're part of a pretty small group, of people who've had the type of success you've had on shows like this. Talk to us about the camaraderie that you've been able to kind of form with others that have been a part of both Jeopardy and The Chase.
Well, it's funny. It's you mentioned the camaraderie, which is definitely there, but it's also competitive at the same time, which is it's an interesting dynamic. So we have the Chasers Lounge, where the chasers who don't happen to be playing that particular evening will comment on the proceedings, and it's funny. Like, we're usually rooting for each other. We're on Team Chaser. But then if the team of contestants shows us something that night, it can flip. It's also fun to talk smack to each other. So that's always good. But it's all in good fun, though. That's the fun thing about it is nobody's taking anything personally.
Yeah, I think that is the cool thing. I think the success of this show, The Chase, also, Brad, says something about us as the audience, right? That we are individuals that we like competition, of course, but we also like the idea of okay, am I going to be able to answer those questions? And I thought about this when I was prepping for your segment, as, we kind of think about looking at you guys and kind of how you were in watching Jeopardy, thinking, how many can I answer? How many do I know the answer to? I don't normally get very many right, I have to admit, when I'm watching and trying to guess, because it's moving so quickly. But what has that been like for you? It kind of goes back to the audience experience, though, Brad. What has that been like for you to see how the audience gets caught up in a show like this?
It's really gratifying. And to your point, the number one comment I get whenever I meet somebody is like, if I watch Jeopardy and I just get one question right, it makes my day. Which is fantastic, and that's how most people are. And I think most people are watching for the competition, and so I guess be impressed that people know this stuff. But if they can get one, they feel like they really accomplished something, which is great, and it's really fun to provide that to people on a daily basis.
Yeah. Well, we definitely will be watching. Again, everyone, Brad Rutter has been our guest. Make sure you guys catch him on The Chase on ABC on Thursday. Of course, that's going to be, for our radio audience here, it's going to be at 8 p.m. Central Time. That's 9 p.m. Eastern. Also be streaming on Hulu. Brad, really appreciate you stopping by. Congratulations on all your success, and looking forward to speaking with you again.
Thanks so much. Anytime.
All right, and we thank your audience for tuning in to another great segment of Conversations Live. Until next time, I'm your host, Cyrus Webb, saying as always, enjoy your day, enjoy your life, enjoy your world. Thank you all for choosing Conversations Live. Let us go make today amazing. Take care.